Доброго
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. We start our working day at Ukraine Crisis Media Center. I'm Valentin Pugachev, and I'm an anchor of the project Spokesman of Peaceful Life. And this project is supported by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Germany. And today we are going to speak about Readers Club in Mariupol that was created by activists for children and teenagers, and also from the restart of Plast movement in Mariupol. Patriotic education is very important for the security and defense of our state, and a lot of attention is paid to this issue in the east of Ukraine. And there is local government. They are responsible for patriotic upbringing of kids, but also public and civil society organizations give their support in this respect. And Plast appeared in 2001 in the east of Ukraine, and the main idea of this movement it is based on moral values and healthy lifestyle and love to motherland. And we have Skype connections with our guests, Oleksandra Vaksman and also Anastasia Panamareva. These are coordinators of the initiative Readers Club. And also we have Skype connection with Gennadiy Ivanchenko. He is also senior Plast member, head of Plast Stanytsya, local organization in Mariupol, and also our permanent correspondent. We will hear her, Irina Perkova. She is the coordinator of Ukraine Crisis Media Center in Mariupol. Good afternoon, dear friends. Do you hear us well? Yes, good afternoon. We are given the floor, Irina. Good afternoon, everyone. I believe that we have a wonderful meeting today, and we are going to discuss educational prospects in Mariupol. And with the start of war, Mariupol is the center of regional life. You know that we have a cultural center here, and we have different groups, cultural groups with different projects, and also our local activists also do a lot in order to promote culture among young people, and also they motivate people to be more active, to love their country, and to join the initiatives. And we invited the girls who by their own effort created a Readers Club and the initiative that is called Mariupol Reads to Children. And also we invited Gennadiy. He is a senior Plast member, head of Plast Stanytsya, and he started Plast in Mariupol, and for many years he deal with it, and he will tell us about this organization, youth organization, that is the biggest in Ukraine. So this will be an interesting program. We'll start with Anastasia and Sasha, who is going to be the first one to tell us about the initiative. So we deal with it for half a year. We started. You know that they wanted to close down libraries in Mariupol. That's why we decided to promote culture, because otherwise children won't have any interests. That's why we created an initiative group, and we understood that we should not close the libraries, we should develop them, and adults, they should unite and help children. And the problem was when you ask parents, what do you read to your children? They say Anna Karenina, Kolobok, something like this. And they didn't take into account the modern culture, that there are interesting books and they are not expensive. You can buy them from the internet. So, for example, you can have, for example, some book from there, and it there are such books that are not interesting and are expensive, but we can get acquainted our kids with modern literature, good literature, and our children should love reading, because many people believe that For example, they just be quiet in the library. Or, for example, you should read with a rate of with a high rate, and people should associate books with something nice and funny. Children should understand that this is great. And we started a club. So we choose a book, and then we create some sort of performance. For example, we had Alice in Wonderland, and we had some performances. And for example, Vyacheslav Kuprienko came to us, and he sang and presented his verses, and also Mr. Zhadan came, and also together with Plast we had some events in camps. Children loved the nature, they imagined themselves Indians, and also we provide a badge to each of the kids that they are the members of the Readers Club. And also we have special diaries, readers' diaries, and children can note their thoughts in these diaries, and you can become a reader of the first level, then the second level, and we believe that this is an interesting idea. Everyone get involved and tried to help us. We addressed business, some cafes, and they allow us to come there, and children come, and everyone likes to help, and adults say, yes, we can read to children, we want to join. So and we also developed some notes, such as we support the project Mariupol Reads to Children. So we have this. So we have some events, and people have they take photos of these events. And children, they started loving, they love reading. And adults, they read to children, but many children, they do not like those books that we loved in our childhood, because they have different realia. And modern writers, they understand modern children. That's why we try to read modern literature to our children. And I know there was a boy, he didn't like to read, and he came to Lviv, and he attended our events, and he went to modern library, and he said, do you have 36 and 6 cats? So that's why we want to promote modern literature. They should understand what it is. And in Mariupol, we have a bad situation. We do not have modern bookshops. And even adults, they come and ask for books. And we also address the Stary Lviv publishing house in order that they come to Mariupol and bring their books here. And we should provide people with information, and they will join our project, and we will broaden it. So this project is really up to date. As girls told us, it's hard to force the child to do something. It should be natural. The child should be interested in what he or she does, and also there are interesting performances, and the child is not just a visitor, but really a participant of each event. Also, people can drink coffee, drink some water, to eat some marshmallow, so or to make some tea on fire. So that was really interesting for children, non-formal event, real holiday, real festival. So I have a question to you. Can you specify what is the age of audience of your Readers Club, and what is the number of children? So this is starting from 6 years of age and till 13. So there are different kids. We do not limit the age, but we indicate to what audience the book will be interesting to. So the last time we had double reading, 2 10s we used, and we read Mowgli and another book, and the day before yesterday there was Mariupol Reads to Children together with Plast. We went to water camp. These were tents, marshmallow, and also we had 2 tents where children of different age. They read books, and then there were active games. So that was a joint action of our teams. I didn't hear about the overall number of children. So we have reading once a month, and we cannot accept more than 25 children, and there is registration. We have an announcement, then there is a registration, and we put a limit because it is impossible for us to invite, for example, 100 children. But we have many readings, so we have many events, so different children register, and we have about 200 children in our database, so they want to attend and they ask to come, but there are we do not have means, we do not have technical capabilities to invite more children. So that's why we introduce some limitations, because we cannot accept more than 25 children. So about the contacts, are you present on Facebook? Yes, we have Facebook group. We update information, we present news, also some new books are presented, so people register, we provide announcements, news, and other information. So, and also people provide information to other people, and they just ask people, and more people come. So now Gennadiy, you're given the floor. Tell us, please, about the restart of Plast movement in Mariupol. In Mariupol, the Plast was started from 1997, 1998. These were the first steps. This was one circle. Then we had the peak of development in 2003, 2005. We had about 40 participants. These are children from 10 to 16 years of age. We had 2 seniors and 2 older plastoons. But we have a problem. We have lack of instructors, those people who will free of charge, because we are non-profitable organization, people who will work weekly with children and to provide some education, to have some trips also. And you know that we are lacking with the people who want to work with children. And there are some enthusiasts. These are mainly teachers, school teachers, they continue after school activities with children, and also those children that are graduated from school and entered higher educational institutions. And my daughter also worked with children, but then she became a student. She lacked time, but now she is 28. She came back here and she continues working with children. And those events that happened in Ukraine 4 years ago, they influenced a lot because there was a threat, and people were persecuted for patriotism and for our state flag. People just fought, and that's why. But now times are different, and we revive Plast movement in Ukraine. This is very important because it is important. We should start with the citizens. We should educate children starting from young age, and patriotic education is important for kids. So our main ideas are that the Plast idea is to be just and believe in God, because this organization is based on it's not this organization is not religious, but our values are based on Christianity. And now new people came, they want to work, they have desire to work, and there are children for whom the Plast movement provide new opportunities, new horizons, and that's why I believe, with the support of the governor of our oblast and with the help of local government, I believe we will be able to overcome technical problems, and we believe that we have a good future and we will be a powerful organization in Donbass. Also, last week, an interesting initiative was started. There is a new church that will be built, and there will be a center created, and this will be the revival of Plast movement also. And also, the priest also said that they will provide all necessary support in order to have such a center of Plast movement and Plast spirit in Donbass. And we have a lot of work ahead of us, but by joint effort we will be able to do this. Thank you, Gennadiy. And now several questions to you. Can you specify how can children join you? Plast is an organization. Everyone can join. This is not organization for children, but there can be people from 6 to 90 years of age. So this, if the person believes that they are young in their spirit and they want to share experience, practical skills. For example, people know a lot about tourism, or they are skilled in some profession, they can come and join Plast movement. So parents bring their children, they want that their children were active participants and were educated, provided with additional education also. And maybe not all the children like the rules of the games were provided by Strasulski, because there is a rule, as in each game, if you follow the rules, you play and adhere to the rules. And the child should choose So we do not limit people starting from 6 years of age. People can join when they are 10 or 15 years of age. So we work with all people, and we try to every person can find his or her place in our organization. And one more question: do you have contacts with the representatives of other regions of Ukraine, especially from the west of Ukraine? So when the academic year ends, there are theoretical and practical education, camping, and when the summer starts, we have camps, and we had 140 camps throughout Ukraine, and platoons from Mariupol went to Ternopil Oblast, and there was a base near Volnovakha where we had our camps, but now it's dangerous there. That's why we had it in Ternopolshina. So it was called the land of giants. And there was a big group from Mariupol. Also, we went to Letunsky, Mursky, and military camps where children could develop their potential. And not only in the west of Ukraine, we also traveled to Kolomyia for on Christmas, and also we went to Lviv. Also, it was Christmas, to see the spirit of Ukraine and the folk traditions in Lviv, and also they were impressed by this, and they had interesting experience. Also, we have some camps in foreign countries, Holland in Germany. There is diaspora really strong, and we have also joint camping with German platoons. And a week ago, I returned from Great Britain. I was an instructor there in Wales. There was a Verkhovina camp named after Ivan Franko, and there were platoons from Great Britain and also platoons from Ukraine. 5 participants, 3 boys and 2 girls, Kiev, Lviv, Dragobych, Frankivsk representatives, and they took part in this camp. And we have we have great prospects for our future, and we have experience, and we want to know other platoons from different countries. And also, of course, now we are forced to travel to other regions, because here in our region it is really dangerous. So you have some plans, and I have the question to Anastasia and Alexandra. Do you plan to broaden your activity, maybe to cooperate more with schools? Yes, we plan to broaden. There are 2 areas to make these readings more often, and ideally we should provide mechanisms, involve other people. We can publish some diaries, to create some badges, and we can educate people how to do this correctly, and people could help us not only in our city but also in other towns and cities of Ukraine. People should understand how to do this, and then they could continue, and this is our goal, that children, they should motivate children to read, that adults should read to children. It should be an event. This is our goal. So we should make reading a fashion, and we should provide the mechanism to people how to do this correctly. I have a question to Gennadiy about the contacts on Facebook, I mean Mariupol Plast. I have a personal page and people address and ask how to join, and also we have plans to register our Stanytsya, and we will have a page on Facebook. It will be in the nearest future. Thank you, dear colleagues. Do you have questions, please? Sergei Malerchuk, Ukraine Crisis Media Center. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. And I have a question to Oleksandra. Please tell us, can you announce, for example, 5 or 10 books that you will recommend to parents to read to their kids, for example, up to 10, from 5 to 10 years of age? And second question, who are the modern Ukrainian writers you would like to recommend? So we've read and we liked Dragons Ahead, then so Garmidar in school, and this is a good book for young children, for children of primary schools. Also a book about football. A boy travels with his dad throughout the world. This is an interesting book for boys. Also the books for girls who like to know about some famous painters. Lindbergh, also an interesting book for boys. Martin Slimak, also a book for children who like to construct something interesting, to design something. This is for boys of 8 or 10 years of age, and I recommend to enter the site of publishing houses. Starilev Publishing Housing. And so there are many interesting books and publishing houses that you can just sit and look through the information, because children can find something interesting for themselves. And also there is such a book, Читання for Gatanya. So this is a book for, this is a just humor book. 36 and 6 Cats is also a wonderful book, and a very interesting author. Galina Kruta, she presented her ABC book, so very interesting verses there. And she writes for children. She has a son, a small child, and she writes and she understands for whom she does this. So these are young authors, and maybe people do not know their names. That's why we choose searching through different books. So we searched for dinosaurs and dragons, and the book Dragons Go Ahead. This was so interesting that children asked us to continue to read, and even adults asked us to continue. So we choose. You should choose books together with your child, because children, they are different. That's why you should just ask your child and show. You should take your child, go to the bookshop, and then ask a child what books he or she likes, because we are all different with our own interests. I'm sorry, but we have next event in several minutes. That's why thank you for coming. Thank you for being with us, and we hope that we will meet again soon. Thank you. Goodbye. Dear colleagues, thank you for being with us. And I remind that our next press briefing in the framework of Spokesman of Peaceful Life project on Tuesday next week.